Ken and Jeanette. On this second option, I've just added that avenue of trees that I want to bring down into the driveway. Now these are linden trees. They could be any species. These are an evergreen tree. You can get the mower around the base, or we could go and put garden beds underneath them. But this is the approach to the house, and I kind of want to create this entrance. That beautiful big teardrop that you've got in the middle, I want to fill that up with plants and there's trees to go around it. It does partially block the house out, but that's a good thing. And in the middle of this, I want to do lighting and put a beautiful big sculpture that just disappears into the foliage. A little bit of planting in the front of the house where your existing lawn is, on the left hand side there as well. I want to keep this lawn coming up to the concrete driveway, and then there's this avenue of trees between the house and the shed. So this is the second option that I discussed that I would be doing in that first video. What I want to do with these trees is wrap them around the house like so, unless you have a better use for that area, because the spa has now gone. It's moved into the pool area. What I've done with this sunken area is I've shifted it. I've moved it towards the shed. It's essentially the same. I have incorporated a pizza oven into it. You could extend that to include maybe some, like a bench with sort of cupboards and storage, and maybe like an outdoor fridge or something like that. Still keen to see if I can put an arbor over it. And this is where I've moved the spa to. So it's now inside the pool fenced zone. Just sitting right in the corner, as far back as we can get it. As for pumps and controls, I need to have a better understanding of how that functions. So here's the pool. That hasn't changed. Swim out steps that you can see there close to the house. We can adjust all of that. Steps into the pool we can adjust, so on and so on. And what I have done with this little bit of paved space is I've actually just moved it very slightly towards the retaining wall with this design, but it hasn't changed that dramatically since the first one. The primary difference is the inclusion of the spa within the pool fenced area, which I think is actually a good idea. I've softened these garden beds, so these are all nice and curved and flowing and kind of offset the sharpness of the house quite well. I really love the idea of these secondary seating spaces that are just nestled amongst trees for shade. Still with the views out. Obviously that hedge that I want to block off the next door neighbour's house. Steppers going through garden beds and things like that. So let me know if you prefer this design, and we'll develop it even further.